Good morning, everyone. Before we dive into today's discussion, I'd like to start with something that will energize and inspire us all. Our group prepared a short video that's not only a little boost for the day, but also sets the tone for what we're going to explore in this session.
Teachers must be ready for global cooperation and connectivity. As education evolves alongside global progress, its quality becomes crucial. To compete in the global economy, nations need strong education systems. Thus, teachers engage in intercultural exchanges to enhance their skills and global awareness. First, the Fulbright program, sponsored by the U.S. government, promotes peaceful global relations. The Fulbright teacher exchanges empower educators to improve their skills and bring global perspectives into classrooms. Similarly, the U.S.-China Teachers Exchange Program enhances English and Chinese proficiency while fostering cultural and educational understanding. Meanwhile, the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program focuses on building mutual understanding through cultural exchange and language education. Finally, Alberta's International Educational Exchange Program pairs school leaders with educators worldwide, encouraging diverse educational system exchanges. As technology transforms education, teachers must find innovative ways to engage and inspire students, becoming digitized teachers. By participating in exchange programs, educators create globally aware classrooms, embracing the belief that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.
Now that you've got a sense of today's topic, let's jump more into the details. The video gave us a quick overview, and now we'll dig deeper into global teachers active participants in various exchange programs. But before we proceed, let me introduce the members of our group. We have Miss Unay, Miss Soleta, Miss Hernandez, Miss Carbonell, Miss Baldo, Miss Maulas, Miss Matutina, Miss Glorioso, Mr. Abulencia, Miss Esteta, Miss Cruz, and me, Miss Ko. Together, we aim to share valuable insights and information with all of you. To get us started, let me call on Miss Esteta to present the objectives for today's discussion.
Thank you, Ms. Ko. To understand the discussion further, these are the objectives for the global teachers, active participants in various exchange programs. The first one is to examine the given exchange programs and see its impact. The second one is to determine importance of exchange programs for improving teacher skills. Next slide, please. There are a lot of changes in our world, especially globalization. As our world develops, education also does. That is the reason why everyone, including teachers, should be prepared for this, and we should embrace cooperation and connectivity in our world. Teachers should participate in intercultural exchanges to improve their skills, knowledge, and abilities. By doing this, they'll be able to understand the ways and learnings of other teachers from the other side of our world. It helps to develop them into a globally conscious educators. Next slide, please. In our situation right now, performance na ng mga school yung nagiging batayan ng education achievements. Kaya nga in the 21st century is information na ang isa sa pinakamahalagang mayroon ng bawat country. Every country must have a high-quality education since this is the basis and in order na makipagsabayan sa global economy. Mahalaga rin na ma-involve ang mga teachers and participate in some global exchanges or some activity or program that will help them na mas mapaunlad ang knowledge at makasabay sa global changes. Next slide, please. Ito ay dahil pinaniniwalaan na yung quality ng educational system is quality mismo ng educators, since sila nga yung nagtuturo. Organizing international conferences, participating in exchange programs, and exchanging best practices and policies are some of the activities. The assumption behind this program is that they offer significant learning opportunities and values from foreign engagement. Next slide, please. With this, there are actually teacher exchange programs na na-implement. And these are the Fulbright Teacher Exchange Program, the US Teacher Exchange Program, Japan Exchange and Teaching Programs, and the last one is the Alberta's International Educational Exchange Program. For the discussion of the Fulbright Exchange Program, I'm calling on Ms. Maulas.
Ayan. So now we are at the first exchange program, which is the Fulbright Exchange Program. So what is the Fulbright Exchange Program? So ang Fulbright Exchange Program ay binuo ni Senator J. William Fulbright during the aftermath of the World War II noong 1946. Ang program na ito ay supported by the US government in which is signed into law by the President Harry Truman. Ang Fulbright program ay nagpo-focus sa aim nila to create mutual understanding, collaboration, and peaceful relation among nations in which supports a collective global commitment para mag-build or ayusin ang gaps of understanding between cultures and promote education globally. So, next slide. Ayan. Since ang Fulbright Exchange Program ay nag-aim to promote education, they empowered teachers by including them sa program which is called as the Fulbright Teachers Exchange Program. So ang goal ng program na ito is for teachers to promote mutual understanding between different cultures since ang Fulbright program ay tumatanggap ng mga teachers worldwide or sa different nations including the Philippines. Teachers are able to work with people from other countries to create relationships, and as we all know, when we understand each other, we avoid conflicts and we build better connections. So now yung creation and support ng program na to shows that the countries around the world are committed to connecting different cultures. So since itong program nga na ito is aiming to promote education, it helps different kinds of teachers to share their knowledge and experiences with others to give different perspective and cultures sa mga students and especially sa societal challenges like climate change, inequality, and other issues na common sa atin lahat. As this will help to solve global problems, so in short, it's about using education and cultural exchange to bring people together and create a better and more peaceful world. So ngayon naiintindihan na natin or alam na natin ang Fulbright Teacher Exchange Program, let's proceed sa programs na ina-offer nito sa educators in US and other nations. So the program offers a variety of options for K-12. Next slide po. Ayan. So firstly, sa mga US educators, ang Fulbright Teacher Exchange Program ay nagpa-provide ng 4 programs. So first is Global Classroom Program. Dito magkakaroon ng mga participants ng 2 to 3 weeks to visit other countries kung saan mararanasan nila ang culture, system of education, and country's history. Kasama sa activity na ito ang pag-observe sa mga klase, collaborating with administrators, and pagtuturo o co-teaching ng mga lessons kasama ang international educators. Ang activity na ito ay nag-enhance ng perspectives and experiences ng mga educators tungkol sa global education. So next one is Teaching Research Program. Ang focus sa program na ito ay ang host country experience. Meaning, ang mga educators na nag-participate sa program na ito will travel to a country for 3 to 6 months, kung saan they will work for their research projects which will be relevant sa kanilang teaching practices. This experience allows them to apply their learning in a global context, explore new educational practices, and collaborate with colleagues in the host country. Number 3 is the Teaching Short-Term Program. So in this program, ang mga educators ay bumibisita sa isa sa mga participating countries ng Fulbright Exchange Program, kung saan they will explore and learn from local education from the local education system. Maaari nilang bisitahin ang private and public schools, makipag-collaborate sa mga local educators and students, kung saan they will gain insights into how different countries address common educational challenges. And lastly, number 4 is the Fulbright Leaders for Global School. So the main activity of this program is yung community-based educational projects. Basically, yung mga participants pumupunta sa isang host country for 2 to 6 weeks para tumulong sa mga educational projects na kailangan ng community doon. They will make tasks like developing training, writing curricula, and supporting educators. Pwede rin silang mag-collaborate with university faculty para i-improve ang teacher training programs. Hindi lang sila natututo rito, kundi tumutulong din sila to improve education in that community. And para naman sa mga non-US educators, merong dalawang programs. So first program is Teaching Excellence and Achievement Program. In this program, ang mga educators ay ina-expect na mag-create ng projects related and relevant sa kanilang teaching practices, observe and co-teach sa mga teachers sa US at mag-engage in cultural and educational activities in the US. With this, ang mga non-US educators ay expected na makapag-share ng knowledge and experiences nila to their students and co-teachers or co-educators once na sila ay nakauwi na sa kanilang home countries. Number 2 is Teaching Program for International Teachers. In this program, ang mga educators ay a-attend ng seminars in which ang focus ay topics tungkol sa new teaching methodologies, student-centered learning, instructional technology, and content-based instructions. And magsuspend sila ng 40 hours with their US partner educators sa secondary school related sa subject area na napili nila. Ayan, so now let's proceed to the last part of my discussion, which is the benefits of the Fulbright Exchange Program. First is the cross-cultural understanding. Tinutulungan ng program na ito na ma-enhance ang global awareness ng mga educators and ma-foster ang respect for diverse cultures. Next one is the professional development. Helps educators to build their advanced skills pagdating sa effective teaching through academic seminars and hands-on experiences. Third one is the best study and observe international best practices in education. Nagpro-provide siya ng opportunity sa mga educators to observe and adapt international teaching strategies. Next one is sharing professional expertise. It encourages teachers or educators to collaborate and exchange their knowledge with global educators. Next is to develop leadership skills. Nade-develop niya yung confidence and leadership skill abilities ng mga educators in an international context. And lastly is develop networks. Ina-expand niya yung professional connections ng mga educators to their educators worldwide, which creates a lasting partnerships. So that's it for my discussion for today. And now may I call on Miss Gloriosa to discuss the next topic. Thank you.
All right. Now, let's discuss the US China Teacher Exchange Program, or the TEP. Okay, so the US-China Teacher Exchange Program, or the TEP, was established between 1996 and 2014 and is funded by the Freeman Foundation and administered in US by the National Committees on United States-China Relations, or the NCUSCR, and in China by the China Education Association for International Exchange, or the CEAIE. So, the NCUSCR is a nonprofit organization that promotes mutual understanding and cooperation between the US and China, while the CEAIE is a Chinese organization focused on enhancing international educational exchanges and fostering global cooperation, particularly between China and other countries. It allows teachers from the United States and other countries to live and work in China for a year, So basically, both organizations play a key role in facilitating educational and cultural exchanges between the US and China. Next. Before they are sent to their respective exchange countries, exchange teachers undergo thorough training to improve English and Chinese language proficiency and an in-depth understanding of each other's cultures, traditions, and education systems. They are exposed to American teaching methods, enable them to adapt to diverse classroom environments. This ensures that they are well equipped for teaching in both the US and China. Next. Further, in this program, Chinese teachers in the US teach Chinese language, culture, or ESL in elementary, middle, and high schools, while American teachers in China main focus is to teach oral English in secondary schools. So they are exchange teachers for a year. Now, let's proceed to its three main goals. Ano-ano nga ba yon? So, first, is the cultural enrichment or an in-depth understanding of both US and Chinese teachers as well as the students about each other cultures, fostering cross-cultural awareness and empathy. Next is strengthening Chinese studies in US schools by introducing or reinforcing Chinese studies in US schools. It is an opportunity for both teachers and students to broaden their global perspectives and knowledge about China. Now, for the third one, it is improving English language teaching in Chinese middle schools, providing a quality of language education as English acts as a universal language or the second native language to speak in most of the countries in the world, and connecting diverse cultures, promoting a more inclusive education and community. Now, for the requirements and qualifications, for you to be able to apply or to participate in this program, here are the requirements and qualification you must meet. So first, a bachelor's degree equivalent to the country's standard and a valid teaching license. Second, at least 2 years of full-time teaching experience in primary or secondary education. Third, advanced oral and written proficiency in English and Chinese language. Fourth, no criminal record or history. And five, six, a valid passport, a valid working visa and permit. And for the last one, age under 60, which is only enforced in China. But unless you're an expert in that field, but generally they are enforced this age limit. Okay, for the benefits of participation. This offers educational and cultural enrichment, professional and personal growth for teachers. Teachers improve their language skills, teaching methods, and gain new strategies which they can implement in their home classrooms upon their return, and vice versa during their time as exchange teachers. So it broadens their global understanding and fosters social responsibility and cross-cultural awareness, benefiting both teachers and students, thus develops a deeper respect, appreciation for different cultures. Now, to tackle the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program, here's Mr. Abalencia.
Thank you, Miss Glorioso. Dumako naman po tayo ngayon sa pangatlong exchange program, which is the JET program or Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. So, ang Japan Exchange and Teaching Program o tinatawag na JET program ay tinatag noong 1987. Yung pangunahing layunin po nito is to promote international exchange and improve foreign language education in Japan. Through this program, participants engage in cultural exchange, enhancing mutual understanding between Japan and their home countries. So this initiative plays a crucial role in fostering global connections and appreciation sa iba't ibang cultures. So dito po sa JET program, may different types positions na ino-offer. Next po. So through the JET program, people from participating countries are invited to Japan and appointed to work as ALTS, CIRs, or SEAs. So ang una ay Assistant Language Teacher or ang tinatawag na ALT. So who works in Japanese public or private schools or local boards of education in the prefecture or municipality they will be assigned to. So team teaching is the main feature of the program. Since this collaboration between a Japanese teacher of English or JTE and an assistant language teacher or yung tinatawag na ALT na nagtuturo sa English class. So the presence of the JTE and ALT ay tumutulong sa pagpapabuti or pag-improve ng English proficiency level ng mga Japanese students. Yung main task po or pangunahing trabaho naman po ng ALT ay tulungan at i-assist si JTE or Japanese Teachers of English sa kanyang mga classes. So sa pag-a-apply po sa JET program, specifically sa Assistant Language Teacher, mayroon po ritong 2 screening processes. Next po. So sa unang screening po, firstly, kailangang ma-meet ng mga applicants yung eligibility requirements, which include having good skills in English and ideally some knowledge of Japanese for language proficiency. Pagdating naman po sa education, a bachelor's degree is usually required. So it's also important to have a strong interest in Japan and cultural exchange. So applicants must be willing to adapt to living and working in Japan and adjust to a new environment. So lastly po, a commitment to studying the Japanese language before and during their stay is essential. So ito po ay ang ilan lamang sa mga eligibility requirements. So, maaari nyo pong bisitahin yung website ng Embassy of Japan in the Philippines para sa ibang eligibility requirements. So, next po ay kailangan nilang ihanda ang mga necessary documents, katulad ng completed application form, letters of recommendation, proof of education, and other required documents. So, itong first screening po ay kailangan nilang maipasa lahat ng requirements, katulad ng mga physical or hard copies of documents sa Embassy of Japan here in the Philippines. So next po. So kapag naman po nakapasa na sa first screening, sa second screening naman po, the applicants will be asked to have demo teaching, written exam, and interview. So sa una po ay kailangan mag-prepare ng mga aplikante ng teaching plan for the teaching demonstration in English. Second po ay written exam. Next po. So kailangan din pong maghanda yung mga applicants para sa written exam. So sa panghuli naman po ay interview. Yung mga selected applicants ay magkakaroon ng interviews which assess their suitability for the program. Pero po, close na po ngayon yung JET program applications for the year of 2025 para sa assistant language teacher positions. Next po. Next naman po sa second position, we have the Coordinator for International Relations or CIR. Who collaborates or nakikipagtulungan sa mga local governments para i-enhance ang international relations at community development. According din po sa eligibility criteria, CIRs require applicants to have Japanese proficiency, so kailangan pong may knowledge na po sila sa pagsasalita ng Nihongo or Japanese language. So lastly po, ay the Sports Exchange Advisor or SEA. Ito naman po ay nakatuon sa pagpopromote ng sports and physical education na nagpapacilitate ng cultural exchange sa pamamagitan nga po ng iba't ibang sports activities. So itong position daw po ay bihira lamang and kinukuha lang when a contracting organization needs a qualified coach or someone with relevant experience. So dumako naman po tayo sa benefits of participation. So kapag nakapasok na po sa JET program in any position at nagkaroon na ng experience, participants in the program will enjoy different benefits. So one significant advantage is language immersion. Living in Japan allows participants to enhance their language skills in a native environment. Next po. So additionally, nagkakaroon sila ng rich cultural experiences, providing first-hand insight into Japanese traditions and daily life. So finally, the program offers valuable professional development opportunities. Next po. Na tumutulong sa mga participants na ma-improve yung teaching skills and intercultural communication abilities na ito'y mahalaga para sa kanilang mga future career prospects. So that's all po para sa Japan Exchange and Teaching Program or JET. Aking pinapasa na po ang mikropono kay Ms. Carbonell for the last exchange program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abolentia. Now I will talk about the next program called Alberta's International Educational Exchange Program for Teachers. This program provides a unique opportunity for Alberta teachers and educators from other countries to swap teaching positions. It's all about the professional development, cultural exchange, and learning from each other's educational system. So what is the program itself now? The International Exchange Program is a reciprocal exchange initiative. This means that Alberta teachers and school leaders are paired with teachers in other regions or countries to exchange teaching positions for a set period. This goal is to promote mutual understanding, enhance professional skills, and encourage cultural exchange between different education systems. Next slide, please. There are two main types of exchange in this program. The first type is the short-term exchanges, which last from 3 to 8 weeks. During this exchange, teachers work virtually with their partner educator. They collaborate on various projects, participate in video discussion, and share ideas or topics such as inclusion, STEM, literacy, school culture, and instructional leadership. This type of exchange is ideal for teachers who are looking for a flexible digital experience and are particularly interested in specific educational topics. Next slide, please. The second type is the long-term exchanges, which last for one full academic year. In this exchange, teachers actually switch schools and take on full teaching responsibilities in their host school. This means teacher will integrate into the school host community, teaching students and collaborating with local staff. This type of exchange offers a more immersive experience, giving teachers the opportunity to fully understand and engage with education system in other country. Next slide, please. Now let's talk about the application process. If you're an Alberta teacher interested in applying for this program, here's what you need to know. First, you must confirm your eligibility by being a Canadian citizen, holding an Alberta teaching certificate, and having at least 5 years of teaching experience. After confirming eligibility, the next step is to secure approval from your school leader and district administration before you submit your application. The application itself requires you to submit biography, a statement of intent, and other necessary documentation. Once your application is submitted, Alberta Education and the partner organization will match you with an international teacher based on your teaching expertise and preferences. If selected, you will then need to attend an orientation session to learn about cultural adaptation and the educational system in your host country. Next slide, please. For international teachers, the process is slightly different. They must apply exchange to their home country's exchange program, obtain approval from both the exchange program and Alberta Education, and secure a teaching position with a host Alberta school. They may also need to apply for temporary teaching certification if required by Alberta standards. Next slide, please. Next slide pa po. So there are several reasons why teachers should consider participating in this program. First, it offers tremendous professional development by teaching in a new environment. Educators gain exposure to different teaching methodologies, curricula, and education practices, all of which can expand their teaching abilities and skill set. Another key benefit is the cultural exchange. Through this program, teachers can gain a deeper understanding of various cultures and educational system, which broadens their perspective and helps them connect better with students from diverse backgrounds. Participating in this exchange also helps build networking opportunities. Teachers have the chance to meet and collaborate with educators all over the world, forming professional relationships that could lead to future opportunities for collaboration or career growth. Furthermore, teachers often experience significant personal growth. Adapting to a new country, culture, educational system requires resilience and flexibility. Many teachers return from this exchange with a deeper sense of confidence and self-reliance as they push themselves to grow in unfamiliar environments. Finally, The program contributes to enriching Alberta schools. Teachers who return from their exchanges bring fresh ideas and new perspective. This not only enhances their own teaching, but also positively impacts the learning experience of students and the broader school community. Now, for our first exercise, let's have Ms. Hernandez to discuss it.
Thank you. Next slide, please. For our exercise number 1, we've reached the reflective portion of today's activity. This is your opportunity to pause and consider the insight you gain from our lesson 1 through answering the question: if you were given an opportunity to join a teacher exchange program, which program would you choose and why? In at least 5 sentences long. When you finish the exercise, save your document as a PDF using the file name format. Next slide, please. Surname, given name, underscore, exercise 1. For example, go, Alice May, underscore, exercise number 1. Finally, upload your complete document to the designated Google Drive folder provided. To continue our discussion, let me call Miss Esteta.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez. It is important na makasabay ang teacher when it comes to changes sa technology. They will be the one to adjust and this shouldn't be taken negatively. Rather, it should be taken as an opportunity to learn more and to gain knowledge about technology and digital innovation. That is why as part of our discussion, we will tackle the global teachers, the technology, and digital innovative. For our objectives, the first one is to understand globalization in education, and the second one is to understand the role of a teacher in globalization. Next slide, please. Globalization is the development of interdependence and connectivity of global economies and culture. This increased the expectation on educators. It is believed that there should be improvement and development on their part as well, and dapat nasasabayan nila yung development ng mundo. Kaya rin high demand ang IT or even IT educators since crucial nga naman ang part ng technology sa ating mundo. Next slide, please. Importante rin na maituro at mapaintindi ito sa learners so they can continue the growth and development in our world. Next slide, please. This is actually challenging hindi lang sa mga educators maging sa lahat since every time talaga is may development. So we need to adjust, adapt, and learn lalo na't karamihan sa mga kabataan ay babad talaga sa gadget so magaling talaga silang gumamit. With this happening, the educators must find new ways to engage and excite their students with learning. Next slide, please. This challenge should be used as an opportunity to enhance the teaching-learning process. Since exposed na ang mga kabataan nowadays sa technology, teachers should expose themselves and let them adapt the changes that is occurring in our world. Next slide, please. To discuss further, these topics are presented, which is the first one, how technology works for the K-12 and 21st century teachers. The second one is the technology and digitized teachers. The third one is latest and greatest invention in computer and digital media. And the last one is the benefits teachers get from technology-aided instruction. To understand the first topic, which is how technology works for the K-12 and 21st century teachers, I'm giving the floor to Miss Soleta.
Thank you, Ms. Esteta. Ayan, we are in the topic na kung saan, paano nga ba gumagana or nakakatulong ang technology to our teachers. But first, let's define technology. Technology encompasses the practical application of scientific knowledge and principle to create ng mga system, application, or ways kung paano mapapadali ang isang pangangailangan or challenges ng mga tao. Tulad natin na mga students and future teachers na super nakakatulong sa atin ng technology when it comes sa presentation, sa pagre-research, and sa pagmi-meeting. And lahat ng yun ay dahil sa technology. And speaking of technology, na it helps our academic, isa sa mga types ng technology ang educational technology. It refers to the integration and application of technology tools, resources, and systems to enhance the teaching and learning process. aims na mas ini-improve ang ating educational outcomes sa paraan na mas nakaka-engage, accessible, and mabisa for students or educators because nasa world na tayo ng technology. And after natin ma-define ang technology, alamin naman natin kung paano nakatulong ang technology to our K-12 and 21st century teachers, like sa kanilang pag-prepare ng discussion or sa pag-i-encode ng grades. First is, next slide po, enhancing teaching strategies. Dahil sa technology, we have an application like Canva to edit and design presentation na mas ma-maximize yung team, which ma-capture yung attention ng students sa discussion. And dahil din sa technology, we have a tool like projector to present the lesson. And also to be more engaged in the discussion, merong nag-exist na gamification like Kahoot It, Quizlet, and quizzes na while they're having fun sa laro is may natutunan sila. Second is personalized learning. Ito yung mga platforms na ginagamit ng mga guro upang gawing mas madali or organisado ang pagtuturo at pag-aaral. Isa sa mga ginagamit na platforms ng mga prof ay ang Google Classroom at MS Teams, na kung saan pwede silang mag-attach ng module and assignment na madaling ma-review ng students. Pangatlo, third one is the collaboration and communication. Ito ay tumutukoy sa kakayahan ng technology na mabigay daan sa pakikipag-ugnayan sa mga guro, experts at iba pang professional mula sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Halimbawa na lang nung COED anniversary na ginanap sa Zoom, and si Dr. Hermawat ay isang professional sa ibang bansa na nag-share ng kanyang kaalaman sa mga teacher and also sa mga students na umattend ng ceremony na yun. And lahat ng yun ay nangyari lamang sa Zoom, which means with the help of the technology, we can easily communicate and collaborate to anyone and anywhere. And lastly, cost and resources. Dahil available na ang technology, maaring alternative sa mga papel ang online activities dahil less hassle, hindi gagastos ng malaki, and especially helps save trees and protect the environment. And that's all how technology works for the K-12 and 21st century teachers. For the next discussion, I'm calling Ms. Baldo.
Okay, now that we are done with our topic, the previous topic, today we will going to discuss about the technology and digitized teachers. So the integration of technology in education is reshaping the role of teachers. Next slide po. Leading to the emergence of what we call digitized teachers. So according to Wang, Spector, and Yang 2019, educational technology encompasses various tools, processes, and strategies aimed at improving learning experiences across different settings. So before we proceed to our lesson proper, may tanong muna ako. Paano natin masasabi na ang isang teacher ay digitally literate? So how can we ensure that teachers are digitally literate? So for effective technology integration in classrooms, teacher must possess a solid foundation in digital literacy. So this include po, next slide po. Okay, number one is understanding educational technologies. So teachers po need semiotic awareness, meaning they must be able to interpret and utilize different IT tools and media effectively. Next slide po. The next one is professional development. So, continuous training po is very essential, lalo na po sa mga teachers, to stay updated with current technologies. Regular workshops and courses can help them become proficient in using new tools. So, it is very essential na ang mga teachers ay updated sa mga current technology, dapat alam nila kung paano gamitin. So, the next one, we have collaboration. So, engaging in discussions with colleges foster the exchange of information and effective teaching practices. So, collaborative efforts enhance the overall teaching experience and improve student outcomes. So, mahalaga din po na makipag-collaborate ka with colleges para kunwari may mga app na or app na hindi mo alam paano siya gamitin. So it is very important na makipag-discuss or makipag-engage sa co-teachers natin para gaya nga ng sinabi ko, we must stay updated sa current technologies para pag nagtuturo na yung teacher is hindi na magkakaroon ng delay sa classroom, sa inside classroom kasi yung teacher hindi alam paano gamitin. So it is very important na makipag-engage or collaborate sa mga co-teachers. Next slide po. The role of technology on education. So numerous authors po argue that technology integration in education is hindi lang beneficial but inevitable. So students today are learning through first is we have technology teaching method. So its advantages and disadvantages. So when it comes naman po sa enhanced engagement, students are more interested in interactive tools, so which increase their participation and motivation. So napapansin nyo yun, kahit nga tayo as students, yung teacher natin, madali makuha yung attention natin if may nakikita tayo visually sa board or gumagamit ng how do you say this? Projector or technology ang teacher natin. So hindi tayo what do you call this hindi tayo madali ma-distract kasi ayun nga, gumamit yung teacher or teacher ng technology. Next slide po. So next one is we have personalized learning. So technology allows for personalized learning programs that cater to each child's unique learning style. Next one is increased accessibility. So online resources improve access to education, especially for students in rural or hard to reach area. So it is very important po na ang online resources natin is mag-improve para po maka-access ng education, especially po yung mga estudyante na nasa mga liblib or rural or hard to reach areas. So next slide po. Next one is challenges with technology integration. So despite its advantages po, technology integration comes with challenges. So first we have digital divide. So unequal access to technology can hinder some students' learning opportunities, leading to disparities in education. So gaya nga po ng sinabi ko, sana po or sa mag-increase na accessibility for online resources para po ma-improve yung learning ng mga students. So next one is training needs. So teacher may require substantial support to adapt and integrate digital technologies effectively in their classroom. So gaya po lang sinabi ko kanina na dapat yung teacher is na-train siya kung paano gamitin yung isang technology or app. So, para sa inside ng classroom is hindi magkakaroon ng delay at tuloy-tuloy and smooth ang transition ng kanyang teaching. Next, we have screen fatigue. So, increased screen time can diminish students' focus and attention, affecting their overall learning experience. So, dapat yung increase ng screen time ng mga estudyante is maaari epekto sa mga estudyante, lalo na yung generation ngayon is babad talaga sa technology. We can't deny the fact na ang generation ngayon is more in mas focus or mas nabibigyan nila ng time yung paglalaro sa cellphone nila. So, increased screen time can diminish po students' focus. So, ayun po. Next slide po. So continuing with the theme of professional development and collaboration, it is very crucial for educators to engage in ongoing training and cooperation. So sharing best practices and innovate ideas is essential for enhancing teaching methods, which ultimately benefits students. So paalala ko lang po na hindi lang po teacher ang nagkakaroon ng benefits, but also the students. So, next slide po. Okay, so for my conclusion po, the trend of teachers going digital is transforming the education landscape. So while technology presents numerous benefits, it's also possess challenges that must be addressed to ensure fair treatment for all students. So as we move forward, the role of technology in education will continue to evolve, and educators will need to adapt to these changes. So by investing in professional development and fostering collaboration, we can fully harness the potential of technology to enrich the teaching and learning process ng students. So thank you for joining me today in exploring the role of technology and digitized teacher in education. So may I call on Teacher Matutina to discuss further our discussion.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Today we're going to talk about some of the newest and coolest inventions in technology that are changing the way we use computers and digital media. These inventions are making things faster, more fun, and even helping us explore new worlds. Let's start with AI powered personal assistants. You might have heard of Siri or Alexa. These are AI or artificial intelligence, which means they're like robots that can talk to us and help with things. In 2024, they've gotten even smarter. That now they can talk to us more naturally and solve problems much faster. Whether it's helping you with homework or telling you the weather, AI is making our devices even more helpful every day. Next, we have quantum computing and AI. It's like a super-powered computer. Regular computers can only handle a little bit of information at a time, but quantum computers can do many things at once. This makes them really good at solving tough problems like predicting the weather or helping scientists find new medicines. When we mix this with AI, computers can help us solve even bigger problems faster and better than ever before. Another cool thing happening is virtual reality, or known as VR, or augmented reality, AR. Have you ever tried wearing special glasses or a headset to enter a game world? That's VR. In 2024, VR and AR are getting even better. For example, VR can take you on a virtual trip to another country or make you feel like you're playing a game in space. AR can show you things on your phone that look real, like a dinosaur in your classroom. These technologies are blending the real world with digital worlds, making everything more exciting. So now let's talk about some brand new inventions that are out in 2024. So first, we have the Braylon Google Free VR. This is a super cool invention that lets you experience virtual reality without wearing goggles. It uses a special light to make things look 3D, like you're really inside the game or movie. You can enjoy VR games and even attend meetings without having to put on big, heavy glasses. Next up is Saildrome. This is like a robot boat that sails around the ocean, collecting information about the sea and the weather. Cool, right? It runs on a solar power, so it's good for the environment. Sail drones help scientists learn more about the world without hurting nature. That will be all for our brand new inventions. So as you can see, there are so many exciting new inventions happening in 2024, and there will be more in 2025. These inventions help make technology smarter, faster, and more fun. Maybe one day you'll help invent the next big thing. That will conclude my section for today. Now I'd like to call Miss Cruz to take over and share her part of the discussion. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's move on to the benefits teachers get from technology-aided instruction. So, ano nga ba ang technology-aided instruction and intervention? So, as any instruction or intervention in any in which the learner's goals are primarily achieved with technology as the central feature. So, Adam further defines the technology include in technology-aided instruction and intervention as any electronic item, um, equipment, and also application, as well as the virtual network that is used intentionally to increase or maintain and also improve daily living or the work, also productivity and recreation, or as well as leisure capabilities. Okay. So technology aided instruction and intervention involve using any electronic devices, equipment, applications, or networks to improve or maintain specific skills. So over the last few years, this group of intervention has an advance in terms of scientific basis. So for the emerging level of evidence to evidence based practices, it has many advantages such as motivation of people with autism, availability and adaptability of technologies and interventions, efficiency and in terms of time and also the staff, easy combination with other science-based approaches and etc. So with that, although technology-based interventions have frequently been applied in the social communication sphere, differences in the treated areas at different ages are evident. So, sorry, excuse me. So in preschoolers, technology has mainly been used to improve joint attention, language skills. Example is manding, tacting, interverbal, vocabulary enrichment. So recognizing emotions and facial expressions and play skills. Speech generating devices, computer-assisted instruction, video-based instruction, virtual reality, and robot-mediated interventions have been used for this purpose. So in school, children and adolescents, immersive technologies or augmented and virtual reality, avatars, visual scene, display technology, and also games. So serious collaborative somatic. So it has most um, often been used to improve social skills. So in addition to social and emotional recognition skills, technologies have also been used to improve motor skills and also encourage independence at their age. Okay. So according to applied behavior analysis of St. Cloud State University, we have many teaching method that uses technology to help students on the on their achieving the learning goals or to achieve their learning goals. So technology-aided instruction and intervention can include a variety of devices and technologies. So these are the few examples. So first is speech generating devices. Next is tablets, smartphones, virtual networks, computer assisted instructional programs, software for communication, robots, and also lastly the applications for devices. Okay. So technology-aided instruction and intervention can help students improve their academic, vocational, social, and independence skills. So it can also be used to provide prompts, visual schedules, scripts, modeling, and task selection. So when using technology-aided instruction and intervention, it's important to focus on the learner's goals, not on the technology. So it's also important to accurately monitor and the progress with ongoing data collection. So data collection can help guide making and identify potential gaps in the intervention. So before we move forward to our 5 benefits of technology that helps our teachers, so I have a question that you will be answering in your own mind only. So how can you make educational technology work for you? So that is the question. So we can now move forward. So technology has transformed life as well as we know it. So the classroom looks much different than it did 50 or even 10 years ago. So traditional chalkboards have been replaced with digital whiteboards, and classroom have a surplus of iPads. So again, the yung dating parang type of class na meron tayo noon is sobrang iba kaysa sa modern class kasi ngayon meron na tayo mga iPads, mga devices at gumagamit din tayo ng mga whiteboard instead of the blackboard na nakasanayan natin na sinusulatan gamit ang chalk. Ngayon naman, gumagamit na tayo ng whiteboard using the marker dahil nga nasa modern era na tayo at gumagamit na tayo ng mga projectors, mga iPads, mga laptops para sa ating pag-aaral. Okay, so is this advancement to the to determine the students or does it benefit their learning? So ito nga ba ay nakaka-benefit sa mga students? So according to the Pew Research Center, 92% of teachers said that the internet has a major impact on their ability to access content. So resources and materials and also the examples of ways educational technology improves the classroom experience. So we have here the top 5 benefits of technology in the classroom that the teacher that helps the teachers according to the Walden University. Okay, so first we have creates a more engaged environment. So ano nga ba ito? So if we will think technology is just a distraction, but actually it can help encourage active participation in our classroom. So using devices like a computer, a tablet, or other type of technology or devices in our classroom can help turn traditionally dull subjects into an interactive and fun activities. So that is correct naman. If mas engaging tayo is if also mas creative tayo sa ating class, mas ma-encourage ang mga bata na matuto. Lalo na pagka gamay nila yung mga ginagamit sa pagtuturo or mas familiar sila. So ngayon nga dahil nasa modern na tayo, so mas familiar sila sa mga technologies. So kailangan natin siyang parang gamitin na rin talaga. So second naman is incorporates different learning styles. So each child in our classroom is different, and which is true. And it can be challenging to adjust our learning plan to fit every student. Fortunately, technology in education can help you modify your lessons. For example, Ryan Green, an MS in instructional design and technology graduate, chose online learning to earn his degree at Walden. So, and now applies his knowledge on integrating technology to help improve his classroom. So, according to Green or Ryan Green, kids who might want to draw during the entire class can now create an infographic to demonstrate their capabilities and understanding of the content, which I might not have previously seen or assessed. So his instruction design degree helped him elevate his approach in the classroom, giving students a more tailored experience that can benefit them in the future. So the third one naman is improves collaboration. So ano nga ba ito? Teachers have observed an increase of frequency of students helping each other when they are using technology in the classroom. So, ang mga bata, nagtutulungan sila and maganda itong halimbawa, lalo na dahil nagkakaroon sila ng social interactions. So, many technology-based tasks involve other aspects, and this leads to a situation where students need to seek help from their peers or the teachers. Additionally, when students are assigned to small groups, the students who are more technologically advanced can assist their inexperienced peers. So, based nga dito, nagkakaroon sila ng social interaction dahil nga yung ibang bata is mas maalam or advanced sa on using technology, but yung iba naman is parang hirap pa silang matuto or mag-adjust sa technology. So, next naman is prepares children for the future. So, according to PIA study, 9 out of 10 students indicated that using technology in the classroom would help prepare them for the digital future by teaching students skills like PowerPoint and such. You can help. We can help set your students up for success, and introducing instructional technology in the classroom at a young age can help prepare students for future digital demands. So totoo naman ito na kailangan nating as early as now, kailangan nating maturuan ng mga bata using technology since nasa modern era na nga tayo na kailangan natin ng technology, lalo na sa pang-araw-araw nating pagtuturo at pagbibigay ng kaalaman sa mga bata. So, gumagamit na talaga tayo ng technology and as early as now, kailangan talaga natin silang turuan kung paano gumamit nito and in a good way naman. So last naman is our connects you with your students. So technology can help teachers form a better relationship with their students and their colleagues. For example, 84% of teachers report using the internet at least weekly to find content that will engage students. So integrating technology in our class in our lesson plans as well as using it to expand our own knowledge of subject matter can make a significant difference in the classroom. All right. Okay, so with that, that is the top 5 benefits of technology in the classroom that can help the teachers according to Walden University. So again, technology will undoubtedly continue to evolve, and it's important to adjust your classroom style to align with its advancements. So Ryan Green, a second grade teacher, offers some advice to fellow teachers like us. So take the risk, try something new. You never really know how effective a tool or approach will be until you try it. Using technology in your classroom also encourages critical thinking skills. Just dive in. So that is based on Ryan Green. Okay. So so one of these ways based on here on my based here on the PPT, teachers devote so much time and energy to their students. And even outside of the classroom, teachers need to do lesson plans, grade tests, run clubs, or extracurriculars. Also, they are providing support to their students and schools. So, totoo naman ito na ang teachers ay napaka all around because gumagawa na tayo ng lesson plan sa loob ng paaralan at hanggang bahay gumagawa rin tayo. Siyempre kasi kailangan nating mabigay ito at mapasa para meron tayong mabibigay na kaalaman sa mga estudyante natin or sa mga bata. Okay, so it's no wonder then that so many US teachers, but not only US teachers, actually the whole teachers all over the world report feeling overworked and unappreciated. So, but there are ways to make their lives easier while also improving the education system as a whole. So, one of these ways is by implementing modern technology in the classroom. Though this may sound like additional work for teachers, having to master new devices in their spare time, figuring out how to incorporate them into their curriculums, technology should always be able to help instead of hurt. So nobody will nobody wants to add the already heavy burden of teachers or to eat away at precious class time by having to troubleshoot complicated technology. But as long as the technology is high quality and accessible, as well as it is user friendly, technology can be a crucial tool to enhance teaching and learning. So with that, that will be all for my part. So here is Mr. Hernandez to provide you the exercise for this lesson. Thank you so much.
Now, before we finally end our discussion today, we will take a moment to reflect on what we have learned through an exercise. This exercise is an opportunity for you to check your understanding and think about how the lesson applies to your future as teachers. For today's activity, allow me to discuss the instructions carefully. Reflect on what you've learned from today's lesson. Answer the question, what is the most valuable lesson you learned today? And how can it help you become an effective teacher in the future? Your answer must be at least 5 sentences long and should clearly explain your insights and understanding. After writing your reflection, save it as a PDF file, then follow this format for your file name. Your surname, your given name, and include exercise number 2. For example, De La Cruz Maria underscore exercise number 2. Finally, submit your file to the designated Google Drive folder we provided for this activity. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in our group chat. Good luck, everyone! Now, let's move on to the conclusion part, which will be delivered by Miss Unay.
Alright, so to wrap things up, ang mga global teachers ay talaga nga namang super important in promoting international collaboration. Like, they enhance education by joining mga exchange programs nga gaya ng mga nabanggit ko kanina, kagaya ng Fulbright Exchange, JET program, and Alberta's International Educational Exchange. Excuse me. So, ayun, 'di ba? Nakaka-amaze kasi we have these initiatives na nakakatulong in cultural exchange, lalo na sa mga professional growth din ng teacher. So, ayun. Parang it's so empowering for education kasi they learn how to tackle global challenges and of course to create classroom na globally aware. So, ayun, na-discuss din kaganina yung about sa technology. Ayan, alam naman natin na super na nag-i-evolve talaga yung sobrang dito masyadong mabilis yon yung pag-advance ng ating technology ngayon. And syempre, as teacher, we need natin na makasabay din. So, need din natin mag-level up. Like, kailangan natin mag-adapt ng iba't ibang klaseng innovative na methods. And, ayun, para mas engaging and personalized yung learning experience ng ating mga students. So, ayun po. Next slide. So, ayun. To wrap things up, syempre, yung mga global teachers nga na natakil natin ay super important nga naman in promoting international collaboration, di ba? Like, they enhance education by joining mga exchange programs like Fulbright Exchange, JET program, and Alberta's International Education Exchange. So, sobrang galing lang kasi we have these initiatives na makakatulong in terms of cultural exchange, professional growth, and sharing best practices. So, parang it's empowering our education kasi teachers learn how to tackle global challenges and create classroom na globally aware. And ayun, natakal din natin kaganina yung about sa technology. So as we all know kung gaano nag-a-advance yung technology natin ngayon, syempre tayong mga teacher, we need din natin na makisabay. So ay need din natin mag-level up. Kailangan natin mag-adapt ng mga innovative methods para mas engaging and mas personalize yung learning ng ating mga students. Ayun, so next slide po. So, ayun, sabi pa nga ni Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. So, ayun, agree ba kayo dito? Syempre, agree kayo dapat. Kasi, sobrang important ng role nating mga teacher, lalo ni mga global teachers. Yun nga, kagaya ng mga nabanggit na programs kanina, hindi lang sila nakakapag-share ng best practices, pero na-expose din sila sa iba't ibang mga perspectives, which is nakakatulong pag inintroduce nila sa mga students and syempre sa mga kapwa teachers din nila. So, etong mga experience na to, natutulungan nito tayo na mag-grow and yun nga na makapagdala ng bagong ideas sa ating mga classroom wherein natutulungan natin yung mga students natin na maging mas globally aware. And with technology evolving so fast, teachers need to innovate para mas engaging at mas personalized ang ating learning. So, that would be all for our discussion. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Unay. Next slide, please. As we come to the end of today's lesson, this is your opportunity to share your aha moment and to summarize today's discussion in a reflective and thoughtful manner. When you finish the exercise, save your document as a PDF using the file name format. Surname, first name, underscore, aha, or summary. For example, De La Cruz Maria underscore summary. Ensure the file name is correct to avoid confusion. Finally, upload your complete document to the designated Google Drive folder provided. Again, if you have any question or technical issues, feel free to ask for assistance. You can send it through PM or group chat message. Thank you for taking the time to listen, reflect, and share your thoughts. This process is just as important as the activity itself, as it solidifies your learning and helps you apply it in a meaningful ways. I look forward to seeing your thoughts again. Thank you for listening, everyone. Have a great day ahead.